Hi guys, so I'm doing my second video tonight. I'm gonna be making pork chops, chuletas de puerco, and let's see, I just did a simple seasoning on them. Again, it's a weeknight, so I'm doing simple things. My chocolate just broke. Okay. So I pre-seasoned these. They've been marinating for like an hour in just some steak and meat seasoning and some black pepper. Sorry, I had a little bit of issues with the youngins. Okay, so again, I seasoned it with the steak seasoning and with black pepper. And I have some oranges that have been sitting in the house for a while. They're getting like kind of old. I don't really want to eat them, but they would be good for using as a marinade or a juice. So I'm just gonna cut these in half. And I'm gonna squeeze this. Oh, the light is not cooking. I'm gonna squeeze this on top of the meat. So I have 2 oranges and I'm gonna use both of them. I also have some rosemary here that I got fresh from the yard, but I'm not gonna put this in yet. If I were to put this in now and I cook the rosemary in with the meat, this will burn. So I'm gonna put this in more towards the end, and I'm kind of just gonna like break it off like that. I'll leave them in big pieces because that prevents them from burning. And this is just one way to make pork chops. There's plenty of different ways to make pork chops, and this is just one easy way to do pork chops. Okay, so the pan has been heating up. Where's my bag? And it's been heating on low. I'm gonna turn the flame up to a high temperature. It's always nice to hear a sizzle when the when the meat hits the pan. It's almost there. Not quite hot enough yet. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the first one. Pork meat, you want to make sure that you cook it all the way through. With steaks, you can have it rare, medium rare, but with pork meat, you want to make sure that you cook it all the way through, that it's not raw or rare in the middle at all, because that's no bueno. I think I can fit 3 in there. So I'm gonna let that cook on high, and it's 6:19, 6:20 right now, and I'm gonna let the bottom of the meat, I'm gonna let it brown. And then once it's done browning, I'm gonna flip it to the other side, and I might cover it for a little bit just to make sure that there's no more blood coming up out of the meat and that it cooks all the way through. So I'm gonna take a little break, and once this side is done, I'll continue the video. Okay, so it's only been like 3 minutes, and since I put these in here, and as you can see, they're getting brown on the bottom. I don't want them to burn, but obviously they're not cooked all the way through. They're just browning. So now I'm gonna grab some of this juice and I'm gonna pour it in there. That way it doesn't burn. Okay, so now I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna turn the heat down to medium high. I'm gonna cover this so that way it starts to cook all the way through. And when you see the top part of this changing color to kind of like a gray color, that means the middle is cooked. And like with steak or other types of meats, I usually use onion and garlic and stuff, but with pork, I don't really like to use onion or garlic. To me, it kind of gives like a liver type flavor. It's not really good. So, okay, so I'm going to let this sit, and I'll let you guys know how many minutes it took for it to cook and the top to turn gray. Alright, so it's been another 3 minutes, and the color has changed a lot, and I'm going to flip these over. They have good color on them. I'm going to throw in the rosemary now. And just a little bit more juice. That way you make sure they cook all the way through the middle. So just a few little sprigs of rosemary. And I'm gonna cover it up again. Are you recording me? Oh, you can cut it. It's been 2.5 minutes. And these pork chops are looking pretty saucy and delicious, and they smell great. And I think they're cooked pretty well. Because I put so much liquid in there, it's really helping them to steam on the inside. I see no more blood coming up out of them. So what I am going to do is I'm gonna take some of this sauce out, and that way they can brown on the other side. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this sauce out, but I'm gonna set it to the side, save it for later, because that's a lot of yumminess in that sauce right there. And after I'm done browning the pork chops on the other side, they might be a little dry, so I can add the sauce back in and rehydrate them. So I left a tiny bit in there because, again, I don't want the pan, and because I'm using a cast iron skillet, these skillets are I mentioned burning a lot because these skillets tend to burn food if you don't know how to cook in them and if you're not careful. So I'm leaving some juice in there. And he should brown real nice for me. Okay, so it's been 3.5 minutes that I have been cooking these pork chops without the sauce in the pan, and they're looking pretty delicious. They have a pretty good color on them, and like I said, these cast iron skillets, you gotta be careful with them because they will burn your food if you're not washing your meat. So I'm gonna just kind of add this back in there now. And I'm gonna turn my flame down to low. Actually, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna get a plate.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah. That one looks delicious. Hey, no, that's my job.
I'm gonna cover these ones up so they stay warm.
That looks so good.
Yeah, it really does. It smells pretty fabulous too. Alright, so I'm gonna taste this.
And me too. And your editor.
Hopefully it tastes fabulous. It's hot. It's just, hold on, I want to finish eating this bite. This is super delicious, guys. It's really.
Your face.
Pretty good. Really needs a bite. And you can see it's totally cooked. Totally cooked inside. It's not pink. It should be pretty gray or white. Really needs a bite.
It's really good.
So I think that's gonna conclude my second video for pork chops. And it was really simple and quick. One trick that I can give you guys is make sure when you put the meat in the pan that the meat is not like right on the refrigerator. You don't want your meat to be cold. Kind of let it sit out for a little while. You don't want it warm, but you don't want it cold either. Kind of room temperature, because if the meat is real cold and it hits a hot pan, it's gonna tense up and the meat's gonna be chewy or just rough to eat. So this meat is pretty tender. It's delicious, and that will conclude my video. We're gonna have dinner, guys, so see you next time. Thank you for watching.